Welcome to the Real Estate Trifecta. My name is Carlos Salinas, Mr. You Don't Need 20%. Back at it again with another episode of the Real Estate Trifecta, and we are all in the building. Everybody present and accounted for. Why do people call me Mr. You Don't Need 20%?
Why?
Because I need to drill it into everybody's head that you do not need 20% down to buy a home. There are different programs that allow you to put as little as 3% down in order for you to purchase. Very, very important for everybody to know. So if you ever see me in the street, Mr. You Don't Need 20%, that's me. Today is a very, very special episode. Father's Day episode of the Real Estate Trifecta. I've had this marked down on my calendar for quite some time. I have.
It's important.
Oh my God. I've been looking forward to this episode. I'm a new father, and I'm actually surrounded by two men that I admire as fathers and as co-hosts and as businessmen. So today we're going to dive into that on my appreciation for them as the example that lead for me, myself as a new father. So I definitely want to dive into that. I wore a very special power suit today because I'm in the presence of greatness.
And you look good.
I appreciate that.
You look good.
No, today's a little different. Today's a little different. I wore a good one today because we have some very special guests in the building. Our children are in the building.
One time.
Our sons are in the building. They are going to be our special guests for today. With that being said, we're going to pay the bills. Thank you for RCG Mortgage for sponsoring the show. And Guardian Angel, we appreciate your support.
Absolutely.
And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Mac. Mr. Mac Daddy. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
Kevin Span, what's happening?
I thought you was talking about Lou. People. I am Kevin Span, the insurance guru. Thank you for the introduction from Mr. You Don't Need 20%.
That's it.
My introduction today is, are you in good hands with Kevin Span? Woo. That's it right there.
Like wow.
Are you in
that.
good hands with Kevin Span?
I like that.
That's the question.
With Kevin Span.
It's up to you to put the comments in the answer. Put the answer in the comments. Are you in good hands with Kevin Span? Because Los, it's not a game out here.
That's a fact.
It's not a game. People are working hard. They're buying houses for less than 20% down. Ooh. And I'm not going to talk about it till later, but sometimes they're going out there getting the wrong insurance policies, and that jeopardizes everything. So the wrong policies.
Okay.
Found it a couple of times this week, but this is just my introduction.
Okay. Yeah,
more importantly,
of course,
to my fly brother, my fly guy to the left.
Mr. Orange Pocket.
No, that's Tangerine.
Oh,
that's Tangerine. Come on.
Tangerine today.
You know, talk to him, Mr. CFP. That's Tangerine.
Know you fly when you just don't say it's orange. It's Tangerine.
Guys, I'm telling you. What episode is this? 6? 7?
Brother, it's probably
whatever episode it is,
I think it's 8.
I'll never be as smooth as this guy right here. Never. I just say that every episode. But thank you for that. And it's good to be back with you guys. Sorry I missed you guys last episode.
We missed you.
Yeah. But
Indeed.
I watched it. You
guys
sir. Held it down as always, and as I knew you would.
That's
and
a fact.
It's good to be back, man. And Carlos, congrats on being a dad this year.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
You, and I know it means so much to you from
it does.
day one that I met you.
It does.
You've always talked about fatherhood and being a parent, and when we spoke, you talk about Justin and me,
of course,
and that whole thing. So
of course,
I know this is a big holiday for you.
Yes, sir.
And your family, and
yes,
your
sir.
beautiful son, and
yes,
your
sir.
beautiful wife. So yeah, man, take it all in, because you know there's only a first one time.
That's a fact.
It.
Yeah,
and
right.
And then it starts to get routine. You get old like me.
Right.
It seems like it's Father's Day every day in a way, but take it all in, brother, and enjoy.
I'm trying. I'm still, sleep is getting better.
Okay.
So yeah, that's always a blessing. But before we even dive into anything that has anything to do with business today, y'all see, we usually have bottles on the set when we are giving away gifts, and today, as a Father's Day gift, I want you to pass this down to Lou.
Mr. CFP.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
And my good brother, Kevin Span.
It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, my brother.
Happy Father's Day. I appreciate y'all.
I love it. Thank you.
It was champagne because I celebrate y'all for the influences and the fathers that you are.
Awesome.
So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And people, if you can't see it, he got one of those nice bottles. I want to say what it is, but I can't even.
You know it's good when you can't pronounce it.
Okay. I'm getting some help.
Oh, my
God.
Veuve Clicquot.
It's good to have some help. It's good.
Man, I don't.
Veuve Clicquot. There it is.
I said, give me a nice bottle of champagne.
It's levels to
I got two fathers. I got to have something for Father's Day because I'm not going to be able to see you that day, but this is in celebration of that day. So I appreciate you guys for who you are. And this is going to be one of those episodes. Today we're going to be diving in. I'm going to be opening up about my personal experiences in a single parent home. And then I'm going to be asking for advice from my counterparts here because their opinion matters to me. Very, very important. But before we dive into any of that, we have some very special guests that are going to be surprises that are coming up on the show. I can't wait to see them on camera. But before that, I want to dive into the real estate aspect of what's going on in this market because
let's talk about
it's really it's still going. It's still going.
It's not going to stop.
It's kind of steadfast right now where people are still, overbidding for homes that, let's say, won't comp out usually. And when I mean a comp, I mean a comparison or a comparable to other homes in the neighborhood that are going to justify the price for sale on the home that you might be purchasing. So sticky situation happened and I lost or I walked away from a deal because my conscience wouldn't allow me to move forward.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I want to mention it really quickly. And, in business, you never really want to lose any deals. I didn't lose the client. We're just going to need to find another home. And that's basically what happened. So long story short, I had a client that, loved the house. They wanted to move forward, right? They were comfortable with the number and the price that they had offered for the home.
Okay.
The problem is the house wasn't comping. If it's 600, let's say, for example, for easy numbers, if the money that you're offering is 600, but the comparables in the area say 550, that's a gap that
somebody's got to make up that.
You got to make that up.
Yeah.
There's a gap number, that you're going to have to make up. Correct. So sometimes people have that extra money to make up that gap. I don't care what it's going to cost. If the bank says it's 550, but we're offering 6, we're going to make up the 50 because remember, the bank isn't going to make up that $50,000. That has to come out of your pocket. The appraiser from the bank is coming in to tell you that this home is worth 550 and this is all we're going to fund. So anything extra is coming out of your pocket. And I want you to take light of that because it gets a little dicey. And this is where working with an experienced agent comes into hand because someone like myself, of course, we want to make money. But of course, at the end of the day, you as clients are our priority. You are my priority. So if I need to walk away from a deal because I know that I'm not going to jeopardize your down payment, then damn it, that's what we're doing.
Do the right thing.
Yeah, I can't very well justify looking at my clients in the face and say, hey, we went into this with an understanding, right? Because y'all are under contract now. And under contract says, if you can't make up this amount of money, you lose your down payment. Mm-hmm. I don't want to put the fear in anybody's heart right now. That's not what it is. There are complexities to every agreement, right? In this specific scenario, my client's down payment, it was in jeopardy. If the house didn't appraise, the sellers very well had the right to keep the down payment.
Wow.
Scot-free.
Wow.
And walk away. And then my clients end up empty-handed.
And like a down payment, not earnest money, not like here's
down payment,
couple $100,
no money,
putting it on layaway,
no money, no layaway, no house,
right?
Nothing,
right?
No good.
You know what I mean? So that becomes very, very problematic in our field because right then and there, it's either we're going to be moving away from what we're doing, or it's not going to work at all for the clients and who we represent in any transaction. So I had that, and I would tell you to please be careful with these offers that are over asking price. There are contingencies that come with it. Please speak to a professional. Please speak to somebody that knows what they're doing. In a situation like this, it's not built for a novice agent. You need somebody with experience that's going to A, be able to communicate with the bank, and then B, is going to be able to negotiate on your behalf to make sure that you are making the proper decisions to come out on the other end where A, your money's protected, and then B, you're able to earn and win the bid on that house so you can move forward to contract. That's my take for today. That's my information on the real estate side of it.
I got a story that's
go ahead. Let me hear it.
Same but similar that
go ahead.
I have a lot of clients who are realtors, right? So I heard about this one scenario.
Yep.
Going to keep these people nameless, obviously,
of course, respect.
But, so you know how everybody's like, they're paying over ask and they're in these bidding wars, and all these buyer agents are looking to jockey their clients into position to get their offer accepted.
Exactly.
So the client that I was working with, he was actually offered money to accept the buyers.
Wow.
Yeah, sort of like, hey, there's $2,500 in it if you take my client.
Of course.
This is going on too, where the buyer's agents are willing to, or I guess the buyers, or I don't know who's putting up this money, but willing to kind of like, hey, you take this, accept this offer, and the $2,500 is yours. So there's a lot of that stuff going on too, which is kind of sketchy.
We don't. Yeah, that's sketch on another level.
That's another. Right. That's the value of dealing with somebody like you that has a conscience, that wants to do the right thing and wants to sleep at night.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you. You think you might get away with it once, you might get away with it twice, but I can promise you this from the bottom of my heart: there is nothing and no one that is going to jeopardize my license that's going to put food in my baby's mouth. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because once they catch you, that's it. Yeah. You're done.
Game, set, match.
But it doesn't make sense on another, on another level.
Kobe,
right?
over.
Because
you know what I mean?
If somebody's outbidding that buyer, let's say, I would think the listing agent is going to make more money on a higher offer anyway. So why take this $2,500 or whatever it was?
It's not worth
under the table. It's definitely not worth it. But there's all kind of games going on out there.
Correct.
To say, and these are things that you should be aware of.
It's
work
not
with reputable.
It's
people.
business. It's sharks are in the water constantly. Mm-hmm. What we see on our side of the table, it's never really pretty. It may be sunshine and rainbows when we're shopping.
Right.
Yeah. I tell my clients, point. That's it. Just point. Tell me what you like, and I'll do the rest. Because the easier it is for you, the more likely it is that you'll have better options and more choices to move forward on a home where we're bidding on multiple houses. Remember, I'm not the type of person that likes to put all his eggs in one basket. You like a few houses? Yep. Let's go get them all until we find out which one works best for us.
If it's for you, it's for you.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody could take it away. But I'm going to piggyback on stories from the week.
Mm-hmm.
People, you're working hard. You're saving money.
That's
you're
right.
looking for the ideal house. You want the perfect property for you and for your family so you can live there. I got one message this week.
Go ahead.
Message is simple. Listen to me carefully. Get your HOs right.
Mm-hmm.
Get your HOs right. Now, I didn't pronounce that word, so don't say HO and sound it out. That's what I'm saying. The HO here is HO for homeowners. And if you're a homeowner, there's certain HO policies that you have to buy. So people, make sure you're dealing with a reputable agent that can help you get the right HO for your home. Okay?
Of course.
Twice this week. I was able to save people over $1,000 because the HO wasn't right. Okay, what do you mean? How did they have the wrong HO? They had the wrong homeowner policy. These people lived in a condo or a co-op, which is an HO6. The agent, the 1-800 number or the .com that they dialed, sold them a regular homeowner policy, charging them for dwelling coverage, which they should not have paid for
right.
because they live in a building with the master's policy. All they needed was a walls in policy, maybe for a few $100, not for a few $1,000.
Gotcha.
So if you're listening to this and maybe you live in a co-op or a condo and you're not sure if the person you dealt with got your home insurance policy right,
okay,
please talk to me.
Call them.
You might be overpaying by $1,000.
Call them.
And y'all insurance agents out there that call yourself insurance agent,
Shame on you.
get your
Stop crooking.
HOs right. And by
Stop crooking.
HOs, I mean homeowners. So get it right. Get it right.
So
okay?
let-
You have questions, call the guru. Talk to
As
me.
the vet.
I have a question. I got a question for you right now. So if I'm in a condo, co-op, what have you, and I heard about this too, where is it dwelling coverage that you really want to have, not just... So explain the difference. If I have a home, a single-family residence, I know I need everything, roof. But if I live in a condo or in a complex like this, that's covered by the
master policy, and
master
you're paying
policy.
for
So I
that
need
in your
dwelling
maintenance
coverage,
fees.
right? Everything
You need a walls
inside.
in policy.
Right, okay,
You
the
need
dwelling,
building
that's what I was
property
referring to,
protection
dwelling.
coverage for whatever cabinetry or bathrooms that
Yep.
you've built out. You need personal property protection for your personal belongings. You need family liability protection. But that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
And you're saying that's a savings of approximately about
$1,000 because you're not paying for that single family house. You're not paying to rebuild the structure. You're already paying for that separately with your maintenance fees. So that's the difference. And that difference between covering the dwelling and not covering, that's $1,000 in your pocket instead of the insurance company's pocket.
Now, Kevin, if I give you my auto in addition to my homeowners,
We bundling up.
what are we talking about?
We're talking
Bundling?
35%
Getting a
more
package
savings.
deal?
Exactly.
Listen.
Getting a guru
I like
package?
We're
that.
getting the guru package, of course.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So
Of
that's
course.
something else to consider. It's if you have your auto, right? Most people have it bundled, right?
Absolutely.
Not always, though.
Not
But
always,
That's
though.
another that
It's
could
another
also be a
opportunity.
saving. Right.
To definitely get that right. But I had a question for you this week.
Uh-oh.
I saw something. It was a tax situation where it was pointed out that several of the wealthiest people in the country
Oh, you read about that.
haven't paid. I'm talking billionaires with a B, not millionaires with an M.
That's right.
Haven't paid any income tax at all.
Yeah.
I said, I got to talk to my man, Mr.
Well,
CFP,
I read
about that.
too. So there was a leak, right? And that was something that was released this week, last week, about all these folks. And you know what? There are different reasons why that may be, why people do not have to pay income tax. It's very complex, and unless I see the return, right, I can't really speak on it. But I will say this: know that there's always more than meets the eye. And sometimes there are taxes paid in other forms, and it might not be income tax. Sometimes they have prior year losses that offset current year income. Sometimes they have assets that are depreciating for tax purposes, not in a real sense. So there's all things that are baked in there. Just know that people with money leverage the tax laws to the best of their ability to put them in a position to pay as little or no tax as possible, which leads me to something else. And thank you, brother. This guy, he throws up like alley-oop.
I can pass the ball.
I've
I've always been able to pass the ball.
So, listen, we're in June, right? We are in June, which is the what month of the year, right? We are in the 6th month. We're at halftime right now. If you were unhappy with your tax return in 2020, well, you have 6 months to get it right for 2021. And here's what I mean. When you go and see your accountant in January, February, March, or April, you are going there to have your taxes prepared. The time for planning for taxes is from now until December. So I want to make that very clear. There's a time for preparation and a time for planning. We are in the planning phase right now.
Excellent.
So if you owed taxes last year and you were unhappy about it, I wasn't happy about it. But you know what? You got a plan. This is where you start planning. You say to yourself, okay, what could I do differently? Maybe I could put some more money away for my retirement plan. Something a lot of small business owners do not do. And I want to talk about that in depth at another time.
Of course.
But that is something that I'm working with this, and we're talking real estate. I'm working with a lot of realtors to set up. So they set up their LLCs, their S Corp. What could I do next, Lou? Let's set up a retirement plan for yourself.
Excellent.
Maybe you have young adults or you have teenage children. You could hire them in the business, put them on payroll, take that payroll, put it into a Roth IRA for these young adults. 20 years later, they're going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially if you do that year after year. I could go on and on, but my point is this. We're in June. You got 6 more months to make these adjustments. This is a time for planning. When tax season hits, that's time for preparation. So take advantage of these next 6 months and think about it, because just like the folks you're mentioning, I'm sure all those guys that were in the news, they are sitting with their accountants
planning.
now.
Oh,
And
yeah.
You can't plan with your accountant. One last thing, and then I'm going to get off my soapbox here. You can't plan with your accountant from January to April, because they are just digging and doing the tax preparation, right? They don't have time for planning. And honestly, by that point, there's very few tools that are at the disposal of accountants to make those kind of adjustments. This is a time when it has to be done.
It's time to perform. The time to plan is over.
Yes.
So people, if you're not happy, talk to Lou now.
We're planning now.
Yes. Most definitely. I think, for, us as entrepreneurs, CPAs, CFPs are people that you should be in the ready and speaking to not just once a year or twice a year, quarterly. So I think that's, I'm more of a quarterly person. I like to know what's happening at all times.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, man. I like to be prepared. I'm just so blessed that my wife is an accountant.
Yes.
So, yes, she is,
Vanessa.
I think was a CPA? She's something. She got it.
She got
My
it.
number's
Letters
good.
after name.
my
Not
number,
just MOM.
my number's good.
Beautiful thing.
You know what I mean? So,
Probably get a good rate on your tax.
oh yeah, I get it. I
preparation,
get
too.
great. Yeah, that's deductible too.
Right, there
I
you go.
deduct that too. We are gonna segue right now into a video that I had previously recorded. I want everybody to tune in really quickly. This is something that's really, really important. There was a person that was supposed to be here that couldn't make it, so I'm gonna press play on this. My man Mike is gonna play this right now.
I recognize that guy.
This guy right here,
recognize
he's a
both
good
of
dude. I'm gonna let him go at it. We're gonna hear what he got to
Carlos
say.
Salinas here, Mr. You Don't Need 20%, with a special guest, Justin Soriano from Team O'Neill.
funny.
I'm here because Justin did me a really big favor. He's leaving to Miami today.
Today.
3 p.m.
Gone.
Gone.
On the airplane in 2 hours.
Was
Yeah.
not going to be able to make it to the episode, the Father's Day episode of the Real Estate Trifecta. So he's doing me a favor, shooting this real quick video. The sound might be a little echoey because we're in an office. I know you guys are used to the high production, but I had to corner him because this topic of conversation was so important. Justin, I appreciate you taking the time, bro. Thank you so much.
We're doing this for Pops today.
Pop Dude, Mr. CFP. Mr. CFP, you know, is going to be in the studio watching this. So I have 3 main questions. You know, simple. Don't want to take too much of your time. I know you are super, super busy. I'm going to start with your dad as an influence in your life. You know, he's seen you. Obviously, you're his son. The progressions going through junior high, going through high school. You know, now you're a young entrepreneur. What were some of the influences that Mr. CFP, you know, was able to put down on you?
Everything. From birth, it was always, I could do whatever I want. That was always a big topic in my house. And
Okay.
it's hard, it's in this day and age, we live in a society with college. So
Right.
where a lot of other parents, even my friends' parents from college, they would be like, no, you got to go into this and you have to do this. And like my dad was like, no, do whatever you want to do. It's possible. No, honestly.
Yeah,
so And just everything he does in his business, I feel like even in a way, I don't even realize it, just being around him, listening, take phone calls, I have a lot of his mannerisms and stuff, and that's what makes me successful in what I do today. So definitely owe a lot of, even when I wanted to do real estate right out of college, honestly, people thought I was insane. Some of my friends, they were like, you have a college degree, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
And my dad, do it. I'll pay for the class, go for it. Help me out through the whole thing. So
excellent.
Wouldn't be here without him. All the things he's taught me, even things we do now together in business, it's crazy. So, yes.
So moving into that, you speak about doing business with him now. Is it weird? Is it you guys on the same, right? You know, like
we
it's
love
a
it.
business, right? It's a
like
business.
The only reason we've ever done bonding, anything is doing business together. Honestly.
Are you his son when you do business, or are you Justin Soriano?
Oh no, it gets serious. Yeah. No.
Are there limits?
Yeah. No limits. It's totally always good vibes. We always get on the same page. Any questions I ask about anything with finance and whatnot, even for my clients, we do deals together. So it's
he's told stories. He's told stories. What direction do you think him being such an influential? Because your dad he's big time. You know, it may not. You know what I mean? Your dad is everywhere right now, and I say dad because I'm going to address him as your father because this is the Father's Day episode. So I say your dad. He's everywhere right now, and the podcast game he talks about just kind of like diving into it recently. But as far as business, what influences and directions has he pushed you into as far as your business is concerned?
My business is concerned, he's honestly just told me to do everything I can, even what you're saying, all over social media. He's telling me all the time, you got to be posting more. And it's funny because I should be telling him that, being the younger guy.
That is the truth.
It all does come back to you, honestly. That's the reason he's doing so well. The stuff he's putting out and stuff.
100%.
And I am doing the same. Like, I got to keep up, honestly. It's funny, though. Honestly.
You got the YPN thing now. You started that. That's really, really big to be able to start a networking group, to have a group of people that all believe in the same thing in one place at the same time. I saw you got an award for that. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I started my own networking group called the North Shore Young Professionals. It's a 35 and under networking group, and it was awesome. We were able to raise $5.
I don't make it. I don't make the cut.
Outside looking in.
Honestly, that's a big factor. Honestly, going back to having dad and everything, we as young professionals wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for people like dad showing us the way. So even though I do want mainly to be a young professionals group, I do want to have the older people included who help us get to where we are.
Older people. No, it's all good. It's all good. Like we had, I'm 19 years your senior. A lot can change in 19 years. Man. And some people that are in this industry are always going to be older than you as well.
Of course.
It's what it's how you handle yourself
now.
No question.
Shit with that, honestly.
Of course.
It's very important.
So my last question, the appreciation aspect of it, right? You're in a pool full of sharks, right? Out of college, there's really no preparation for this kind of profession.
No.
You can't learn it in school. Theoretically, you can learn the theoretical, right? But the practical, there's never really an answer for the practical. It's on-site, it's on-site experience, right? What kind of preparation did Lou help you with coming into this as an influencer, as somebody that you looked up to?
Right. Honestly, I don't want to say everything, but my dad literally has done everything for me, whether it's clothes, textbooks, college, everything.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of stuff, and just his wisdom and experience being in his industry and so many other adventures that he's gone on, being always there for me. So those are the biggest things. I really don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for my father.
Okay. I want you to look in the camera because this is going to be that moment, because you're signing off. You're about to go have a good time. You're headed down to Miami. That's what young people do. You know what I mean? I want you to look at your pops right now. Just let them know, how you feel, and please.
Dad, I'm out of here for the next week. Sorry, I'm podcast today, but Absolutely love you to death. Wouldn't be here without you. Thank you so much for everything, honestly.
Carlos Salinas, Mr. You Don't Need 20%, Justice Soriano. We're signing off. See you back at the studio.
Peace.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That really was awesome.
Little surprise.
Thank you for that, brother.
You're welcome. No problem. You know, I really, you know, I'm glad that I had a chance to talk to him, and I really wanted him to.
And I'm glad you got that. Not only that you talked to him,
some good questions.
That was documented. And it
Oh,
was
of
a good
course.
question, but it was documented.
Yeah.
That's something I'm big on, documenting things.
Okay.
Right? So that when you go back, you could see these things. You
Sure.
know what I mean? When my daughters, and we talk so much about Justin. I love Justin.
Yeah.
And you could see the kids got confidence, right? Like,
Swag.
Well, let me tell you something.
Just a lot of drip.
I wish I had that. I didn't have that at that age. I do now, but
Of course.
You know what I'm saying, Ken?
Yeah.
We
Still
talk
know.
about it often.
You still know. Yeah.
If you're on
Yeah.
the other side of 50, you're like, I'm going for everything.
You
now,
got
right?
you got tangerine swag.
There you go. There you go.
Comfortable.
But to have it at 20, and Justin's doing this 2 years, right? But
Yeah.
getting back to documenting things, when my wife was pregnant with my daughters, I
Mm-hmm.
documented. I had a journal for the whole time, the whole 9 months. And then I gave it to my girls to read, and we reflect on that now. Like we read it because there was a period of time we weren't sure if, you know, she was going to keep both kids a full term and the whole
Gotcha.
bit.
Wow.
So I really appreciate you doing that.
Of course,
because
brother.
That is
You are-
that vein. That's documenting that.
You are the example. You are one of my examples. Both of you are one of my examples, and I mean that. We're gonna break for another quick video. We're gonna come back with a surprise. I want everybody to stay tuned. We are going to get into our guests that are in the building. One of them is already asleep. But when we get back, our children are going to be in the building, present and accounted for. I can't wait. I've been really looking forward to this, and a couple other surprises that are going to be on this television right behind me. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Real Estate Trifecta. We got a few more people on the scene right now.
Yes, sir.
I want everybody to meet my little boy, Mateo Joseph Salinas, making his television debut.
One time for Mateo. What's up, Pop?
5 months in the making. This is everything for me. I'm going to open up about what this actually means to me, Father's Day, what it means to me. And this little man right here I'm very blessed. He's very, very good looking. He's a good looking boy. This boy got me in the gym. This boy got me, he makes me a better businessman. This is my motivation. It's really heartfelt for me. It's really different for me because I'm surrounded by influences, right? And then your children at the same time. So I want to go around the table. This is Mateo Joseph Salinas. To my left, I have.
My name is Trey.
Okay.
And I'm Dominique. I'm Kevin's middle son.
Okay.
All right.
It just so happens behind us is Kevin Spann the second. Evan is on the screen right now. Kev, say something to the people.
You guys hear me? My name is Kevin Spann II. I'm over in Portland, Oregon, but I want to be dialed in, and I'm happy to be part of the Father's Day experience. You guys are all great.
Kev, we appreciate you taking the time. I wish I had this thought out for a really long time. I know you and I spoke, and I appreciate you dialing in, taking the time, because I wish you were in studio. Kevin and I went to college together. He was such a successful basketball player who went on to do many, many great things. Kev, let me ask you, as far as the influential part of your father in your life as an entrepreneur, what was the brickwork that put that into motion?
He never gave me an allowance.
I like that. That is awesome.
My dad, the beauty of our dynamic is my dad had me pretty young. I think my dad was 22, 23 years old.
Okay.
So I had a chance to watch the flows as a and the one thing my dad always empowered me with is the others. So rather than give me, $10 a week allowance like every other kid on the block, he empowered me to know, hey, you can wash cars and make a lot more than $10. You can cut hair, you can shovel snow, you can cut grass. And I think once I realized my ability to provide a service to others is all in my own time and my own efforts, that was the beginning of my entrepreneurial spirits, I'd say way before high school. So I attest that to him of opening up my perspective. And I'm always appreciative of that, and I never really lost sight of that. So that's the impact my dad had on my life at an early age.
Kev, you're into a lot of things right now. I remember when I first moved out here, we ended up bumping into each other at Evolution at the barbershop, correct? And at the time, you were the head coach for St. Joe's. So what was your transition from St. Joe's to what you're doing now? Because, brother, if the gram is talking, you're doing big things.
No, Carlos, I appreciate that. I had an opportunity to become one of the youngest head coaches in the country at the collegiate level. I was a 27-year-old head Division III coach.
Beautiful.
I was blessed to coach for about 5 to 6 years. I was blessed to coach my brother Dom. You know, Dom was a hell of a basketball player.
Who's in the building?
I was privileged to watch him grow as a player, and I got a chance to coach him, and we had a lot of fun. He had a chance to live with me, and our bond grew. We traveled to Cuba together. And so being part of young men's lives, I had to become the person I needed. And so in coaching, I had a chance to learn about new young people, and they're into Bitcoin, they're into fashion, they're entrepreneurs. And I'm actually jealous of my brothers because they're 29 and 17, and my brothers have the opportunity to build their own brand. Dom has his own incorporation under 30.
100%.
Trey's aligned with some graphic design. So,
JT Graphics.
Their image, so it's great.
Okay. Well, listen, I know you're busy. You're driving at the moment because we're going to get into Evan's portion of this as well.
Yep.
So before you sign off, brother, look into the camera. You know, what is the influence of your pops for you? What has it meant for you in your development?
It's meant everything. So I'm in California now. I'm into lifestyle branding and luxury.
Okay.
I provide a lot of services for affluent people.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be able to do anything without a lot of the principles my dad taught me about service to others. And his motto, inspire and be inspired, is something I keep very close to me, where I have the opportunity to learn something every day. I have a chance to teach something every day. Keeping people and their happiness and their spirit at the forefront is everything. So that's a big part of my motto and who I am today, is follow his footsteps.
All right. Well, listen, I know you're busy.
Very nice.
When you get back, let's have a cigar. I know you into it. I'm with you. You know, we'll have a little toast. And before you sign off, I want to say thank you for taking the time. Today was a very, very special episode for me. We're going to get into your brothers right now. Actually, we're going to talk to Evan really quick, and then we're going to get into your brothers. But thank you, brother. We miss you. We hope you are well. Best to wifey. Safe driving and all that.
Thanks.
I appreciate that, man. I love to stay tuned in. Please send me the content when it's all done and produced. Man, I love you guys. I'll see them in about a week. But Carlos, we'll see each other soon. And Mike, pleasure to meet you. Evan as well.
All right, good brother. Take it easy.
Have a good one.
That's my man, Kevin Spann II, you know, my boy from college. But
Very nice.
We're going to dive in right now because we have Trey and we have Nico in the building as well, who are Kevin's sons, who are also entrepreneurs. But because they're in studio and I got Evan on the phone right behind me from RCG Mortgage, we're going to switch it up a little bit as my boy does the dance real quick. He's about to do the salsa. Not only do I have an opportunity to speak and work with Evan on a day in and day out basis with RCG Mortgage, they are kind enough. They see the vision. They see the vision that the Real Estate Trifecta has. They understand what direction we're going in. And I'm extremely blessed to have, you know, a person like Evan, not only as a friend, but as somebody that I can turn to for financial guidance in this industry. And the reason why Evan is on the show today is because Evan is about to be a stepdad, which is an extremely powerful thing for any man.
Oh, yeah.
To take on the responsibilities of another man's child and then, you know, raise that baby as if,
As his own.
as his own. So Ev, welcome to the show officially.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, yeah.
Again, you were in studio last time.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man.
It's been a minute. Good to see you guys. Great to see you guys.
I love the landscaping. It's looking good. The grass is PGA green, brother.
I'm telling you.
You know what I'm saying? I know.
Figure out which blade of grass to put in the video.
Man. You're going into stepfatherhood. And, shout out to all the stepfathers as well that are watching this episode. Talk about it, brother. What are some of your nervousnesses? That's not even, if that's even a word.
That works.
It
Yeah.
is.
What is some of your I guess what nerves, anxiety? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what is it? What is,
It's a lot.
go ahead.
It's a lot, and it's multi-pronged.
Right.
I mean,
Oh.
I mean, and in many situations, you can expect to become a stepfather, right? I guess after divorce, maybe, or
Sure.
later in life. I'm 30 years old.
That's right.
And I'll be honest, this is my first serious relationship. And when I say serious, I mean, where I've thought about marrying someone, and I am actually marrying someone, my fiance and wife to be. So
Shout out to Brittany. Ooh.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Brittany. It's my girl, man. Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's I didn't expect to be a stepfather before a father. Like definitely not what your first initial expectation is.
Sure.
But I'll say one word. One word which is most important. I think this is just a general sense of what I feel on Father's Day is respect.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, a father has not that a mother doesn't respect me. She got more respect, probably. Typically, but no, we'll get to that later. But the respect, right? From a man's perspective, at least, it's maybe a little bit different. Regardless, they have that respect, right? Respect was the most important thing coming in. Was all right. My soon-to-be stepdaughter's father. I wanted to ensure that he knew I respected him, and I'm fortunate, and she's fortunate enough that her father is phenomenal. In her life, loves her, takes care of her.
That's great.
Good for her, and I respect that. Coming from also a household of separation, my father in the same way was there for me, but I needed to make sure that I respected him, and that was number one, right? I had to ensure of that, and we got through that, which was great. Number two was getting to the point of feeling like I could be a father,
right?
And it's been almost 2 years now. And I gotta say, it's only been a couple of months that I'm actually feeling that way. I mean, I watched and learned, right? I mean, Carlos, you're a new father. You probably somewhat similar, right? I mean, you're a new father, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna become a father, and you're like, wait a second, can I do this?
Yeah. Oh no. Listen, I was in the mirror asking myself that all the time. I didn't think it's still surreal to me. It's still surreal.
And it's always a progression, guys.
Oh, 100%.
At every stage of life, there's a different stages of fatherhood.
Here come the OGs. Here you go.
I'm still figuring out stuff on my own. And my youngest is 21. No, seriously. Yeah, no. And you got it, man. You guys have good hearts. Your hearts are in the right place. And I'm listening carefully to you, Ev. And I can tell you're going to be a phenomenal dad.
Excellent. Absolutely.
Because
absolutely
the energy you're coming from and where your heart's at, and I could see that look in your eyes. Your heart's in the right place, everything else falls into place. So don't even worry about it.
Before we sign off, Ev, because we're gonna have to dive. We want to dive into Trey and Nico right now.
Absolutely.
What do you think is going to be your biggest challenge? Going into it. Because it is a challenge, and knowing that, the love and appreciation for a daughter nonetheless. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I never want to see, man, immediately, right off the cuff, and Brittany and I talk about this, I just never want to see there be any sort of separation, right?
Yep.
When Brittany and I had children ourselves together,
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that, Stella's my child. I mean, I don't see her.
No doubt.
Day.
No doubt.
That's nice.
That's, I think, the biggest challenge is absolutely that. And just, so that's absolutely the biggest challenge. But to leave it, to where we can actually get to the point of signing off and let you guys do your thing with Trey and Nico. But when I first got with Brittany, the most important thing about having a child is that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter who you're with, right?
No doubt.
Sense, like that person's second. That's what I've learned. She's first. She will always be first, no matter what, when we have other children, et cetera, they'll all be first. But
of course,
children are first. My father definitely impressed that upon me and did a great job with it. So, I want to wish him a happy Father's Day right here, right now. And I want to wish all of you in the studio
thank you.
Father's Day. Thanks. Nico, you guys have a phenomenal father. I had an opportunity to meet him and talk to him.
That's a fact.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen, Ev, we appreciate you stopping in, brother. I know it might have the order that we wanted to go in was a little unconventional, only because I know that the time is limited. Oh, my man is already going at it.
Audible.
There he goes. There he goes.
That's it.
That was the milk. Listen, I appreciate you. I love you. My best to Britt. We will talk soon, brother. I am so proud for you. You are a great example. And yeah, man, we need more brothers like you out there.
100%.
I appreciate you all tremendously. Thanks for having me.
All right, man.
Happy Father's Day, Ev.
Happy Father's Day, Evan. We'll talk to you soon.
Happy Father's Day, guys.
All right, man. And that was Evan Russell with RCG Mortgage. My man is already spitting up. He's ready to spit some bars right now. He's ready to shout out, Papa. Shout out.
Hey, I don't know who Brittany is.
Brittany is Evan's fiance.
No. I mean, I don't
physically
know her personally.
Oh, okay.
But she's very lucky, and I'm sure he's very lucky to have Brittany.
Oh, of course.
But man,
Brittany's
that was pretty heavy.
Yeah, Brittany's great.
I mean, you could tell that he's all in. This guy's 10 toes in. He is not fooling around.
Evan is the real deal.
Fatherhood thing.
Oh, no doubt.
Serious. And there are a lot of single moms out there, and I know you and I chopped this up a little bit on Mother's Day.
We're going to get into that. Oh, 100%.
Single moms, they're mom and dad a lot of times. But you know what? The fathers like Evan do not get enough credit, and they deserve his equal credit when they take on these roles as being the dad. This guy ain't playing stepdad. He's playing dad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Evan. I like that segment a lot.
And shout out to all. Happy Father's Day to all the single mothers. Happy Father's Day to my mama. I celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day. I love my mother. She is my queen. And, my new queen. She know who it is. You know what time it is.
She knows.
But she is the original queen. But happy Father's Day to her too. To my left, I have two successful young entrepreneurs that are in the building right now. I thought Kev walked into the door with a bodyguard, and I didn't know how to take that. I know Kev is big time, but damn, brother.
Feeling small.
I want to send a quick shout. Trey, what's up, man?
How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How you feel?
I feel good.
What do you think about what we do here so far since you've been kind of like watching us from the sideline?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So I know that you're in studio today, and the only reason why I had Kev coming in from Seattle was because he couldn't make it. But I'm glad that y'all were here. To your left is Nico. Nico, how you doing, brother?
Everything good.
How you feel?
Everything's good.
Welcome to the show. What do you think so far?
I love it. It's high energy.
It's cool, right?
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of podcasts too. I really like this one. Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah.
So, Trey, we're gonna start with you, right?
Okay.
Same question. What your father is an entrepreneur. What has he instilled in you? Because I know you're into the football thing, correct?
Yeah.
Tackle. Do you what school or team do you play for?
North Babylon.
All right, so North Bab is lucky to have you.
Yes, sir.
Offensive linemen are the smartest players on the field. You do know that, right?
Yes.
Okay, just to let you know. Besides, they have to be smarter than the quarterback. Believe it or not.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they got to protect him.
Yeah,
too.
protect the quarterback. And with that being said, you also have a graphic design company, correct?
Yes.
Speak a little bit about that, please.
It's JT Graphics. Stands for Just Trey.
Okay.
The name comes from my trainer from last year.
All right.
The meaning is like you're always gonna get the best, like never worse. You should always expect the best, like always best logo, best art. Anything you want from my brand.
That's what's up. So you create content. You create graphics. Yeah. If somebody needs a logo for their company, they're coming to see you.
Of course.
If somebody needs a T-shirt designed or printed, they're coming to see you.
Yeah, I'll make the design, then he'll put it on the shirt.
Okay, and we're gonna get into Nico for a minute. We're gonna get into his section in a minute. But what led you to be a part of that graphic design kind of that pool, that industry? Because you're either good or you're not, and it always comes out in your work. Like we work with EPM here because they're really good at what they do. You know what I mean? And this company has catapulted, my experiences in media to a whole nother level. So if somebody's coming to work with, just Trey, what would they expect?
They expect the best, easy to talk to.
Of course.
I could just make your idea come to life.
Okay.
Like even if you just draw it up, I could make it better.
Yeah. What inspired you to get into that? Like, what was it?
I took a Photoshop class in 8th grade.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun with that. Then I took for my niece's 6th birthday, I got my mom's computer. I made a nice poster for her.
Okay.
Then due to a quarantine and lockdown.
Oh, you got good.
Yeah.
You got
real good.
Yeah, video games are getting old. So
there you go.
I just picked up an old hobby. It got fun.
Very nice.
I started making cartoons and stuff. Then
okay.
I got big into it because I had another digital art class this year. It was even more fun, learned more programs. And I just made a lot of logos since then. I made some stuff for Puma too.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
That's what's up. Okay, so now you have for example, I seen you train. I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? And at points, I wouldn't want you to trip and fall, because if you fell, I felt like you would fall on Kev. And I don't know if I don't think that would be a good thing for my man, because you know what I mean? Brother, wow. You know what I mean? You walked in the door and it was just like, damn. You know,
I'm feeling small here right now. It's like,
and yeah,
I feel like I'm on time.
I wish, first of all, I wish I was that tall. Second of all, you know what I mean? I can imagine, and again, I've seen you train, so I can imagine your gym workout. So not that you need a choice, but are you going to pursue football, and are you going to be pursuing the digital art market as well? Like what are your plans? Like what do you see yourself doing?
Just content creating, basically more into digital art.
Okay.
Like after high school, let's put football aside.
Okay. Yeah. I respect that. Good.
Just get into more content creating.
Nice.
Making more logos, drawing. I like drawing a lot.
Nice.
It's pretty fun.
All right.
That's awesome. And that's something you could always take
creative,
with you too,
very
right?
creative.
I mean, whether you pursue football or not, and if that's your dream, you should pursue it. But what you're building is something that's going to be
100%.
with you now and even after that.
Well, I don't know if you haven't been looking at your father, but your father's he's lighting up like a candle right now. His face is all over the place. I'm trying to hold him down. I'm trying to Mr. Cool. You keep it cool. Yeah, I see you. I see you, boy. I see you. He's holding his composure, but your dad is smiling from ear to ear. I want to jump to Nico right now, who's at the end of the table.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Everything is good. I have a storefront in Huntington.
Talk about it.
It's called the Fashion Trap House.
Okay.
And, just to break down the word, fashion means trendy.
Sure.
And the trap house is code word for.
Oh, we know what trap house. You ain't got the. You know.
So it means like trendy business.
Of course.
And it's all about creation.
Sure.
And making everything anew. We don't have to, all wear Nike. We could create something new.
Of course.
Everybody has a design in their head. Everyone has a business in their head. And
I
want to make it happen and just change the narrative.
So your business, the Fashion Trap House, is, I would say it's a hub for creativity, right?
Yep.
For anybody that has something on their mind that they want to get out there.
Yeah, good hearts and good ideas.
Okay.
And that's where we get it off at, just to help the community out. Just progressive society, the perfect utopia.
If I had to make a comparison, it would be like a comparison to like WeWorks.
Yep.
It's like the WeWorks of, let's say, fashion and industry and design.
Exactly.
You also mentioned food, brother, because listen, like I said, my son got me in the gym. My diet is different now. So when empanadas is trigger words. You can't just say that and not expect a reaction. So
that's my favorite. Empanadas, my favorite things.
Okay.
The cupcake game, all the bakers that are on social media. I want to meet them and
Sure.
have them come to my storefront and sell your stuff and have all of us get a chance to taste some good food and not all the same, fast foods, but just new foods.
So you called it a futuristic flea market.
Yeah.
Right? What can
like
we
that.
Yeah, right?
That's
dope.
innovative. I like that.
What can we expect? Because my guess is you working with Trey and y'all are collaborating as young entrepreneurs. Now, I mean that in the purest sense because y'all are, and respectfully, y'all are young. I wish, and again, I'm gonna get into that, but I wish I had that influence in my life. You know what I mean? Coming up, but because you have had that, where do you see your business going in the next 10 to 15 years?
Just completely taking over. And
I like
having
that.
full control of like the entertainment and the fun in Long Island.
Sure.
And then taking that to California, taking it west, taking it south, taking it wherever. And just repeating the process of great fun and great business and great experiences.
Excellent. I like that.
And I like the order you put it in, right? You heard what you said?
Yeah.
Great fun and great business because you got to be happy with what you're doing.
Oh, that's a fact.
And if you are, that energy comes across to your clientele and they want to, get down with people like that. And then, you do what you love and the money will follow. Yeah. So it's important that you do what makes you happy. Absolutely. And I like the fact that you put, whether you intended to or not.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you didn't, that's even more the reason why you'll be successful. It's because you're doing what you love.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Much success to you.
Have you had, so Kev, let me ask you this, right? When you found out your boys were going to go into business for themselves, did you help them with, strategize a plan? Was it a business plan or a business model?
My plan was to close them, so I was fully licensed in insurance. Nico is fully licensed in insurance.
Okay.
So my plan was to clone them to take because the name of my company is Abraham, Kevin, Span, and Sons.
Right.
And the idea was for them to take over, but unfortunately, they had their own ideas.
Sure.
This is Nico's second or third company. His first thing that he's done for 4 or 5 years is his own defensive driving company.
Oh, sweet.
So we started doing that.
A lot of people in Long Island need that.
Insurance company side. And he began to develop his own ideas. And as a father, and for fathers that are listening out there, our children are going to become themselves. So I had to take a step back.
Sure.
Let him become himself. Let Kevin become himself. And Trey, since his brothers have already went through it, he doesn't have to worry about the insurance license.
All right.
Understand that he'll have different hopes and dreams. But now that they're there, absolutely. Our conversations every day are no longer about last night's games. It's about today's business. It's about what's the business plan today, where we at, what do we have to do, and every aspect of business. That's our daily conversation.
So, Kev, like you, I had similar experience with, when you heard Justin say it, it's like, went to college and you want to be a real estate agent. And you'll find this to be true too, Carlos. Like when your kids want to go in another direction, you got to support that, guys.
Oh, of course.
You don't want to get into, and this was my thought with my son, because, and with my daughters too, you want them to be successful in life, but what makes them happy is what's going to make them successful. And you can't, determine their journey. And if you do, for you parents out there who want to try and do that, if they do take that advice, they might, hold that against you a couple of years from now when they say, hey, you know what, I should, because you could always go work with dad, right? Yeah. Right. I think this is true. You might not get paid as much because you didn't jump on early enough. That's another story. But you could always go and work in the family business, but, you only have one opportunity, and not really one opportunity, but the time to do your thing is when you feel you're ready, and obviously you guys are young and ready, so I'm hoping you guys do well.
I'll say this before I transition back to you, Louis. What I love and respect about all of my sons, Kevin's been at for a little while, but both of them, is that they are doing their thing their way, and they're working hard at it, and they're striving to be great at what they're doing. They're already very, very good at it. And what you were saying, Lou, about respecting and accepting our children, we're from a different world. I'm from a different sector of this world. I'm visiting now.
Right.
The world that I planned for them is no more. You know, I call
That's
this
true.
year one. This is a brand new beginning. So they're rightfully creating their own future. They're very good at teaching themselves what they need to know, and they're doing a fantastic job. So I couldn't be proud of all of my sons and what they're doing.
And as you should be. This younger generation, they're smarter than we were. They have resources that are better than we had, and they'll all do great.
I'm proud for you. I'm proud for you.
And I'm proud for Mateo.
Oh man,
with a mic, so
he wants to
lucky
spit
young
some
man.
bars right now.
He wants to hear from you, Lo. So
I wanna-
Los, you put this together.
Well, I'm gonna open up because there was a brother that I just saw on the Breakfast Club. Right, his name is Jay Barnett, and he speaks about the traumas. And again, your children did not experience this. I was one that actually did. The traumas of a single parent home and how the male role model in, you know, society, well, in families is so important. I was raised in a single parent home, and this brother, he played for the NFL. He went through his own personal struggles. I would really recommend that you guys really look him up and see what he's about. He's on his own podcast. His brother is really trying to help people like myself heal from not having that male influence in our lives. So I'm opening up right now personal because it means a lot to me because this is my first Father's Day, right? I never really got to celebrate a Father's Day ever. You know what I mean? So when I say that, and I say that you guys are the influences that you are, it's from the bottom of my heart. You know what I mean? So in my struggles in becoming and watching, you know, young brothers, well, and I mean young because, you know, y'all got a lot of time to go. You know what I mean? We ain't going nowhere
I hope
yet.
so.
Yeah. I look at myself and I think, you know, I need to be the father for my son that I needed growing up. You know what I mean? And it's tough for me because, you know, when I was coming up, I really didn't have a lot of influences. My influences were, you know, Uncle Phil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Red Fox. Carl Winslow. Al Bundy. You know, Married with Children. You know what I'm saying? Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? James from Good Times. Like, those were my influential role models on television. TV dads, right? Because I didn't have that father figure that was present in my life. And, you know, I remember there was an episode from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where, you know, Will's pops, you know, they were about to go on the road and the pops bounced before, you know, Will came outside. He was ready to go. Will was ready to leave with his father to go on the road and be with his dad. And it was impactful for me because, you know, the main question that I know a lot of young boys, a lot of men still to this day that are trying to heal, right? With the traumas of not having that male influence in their lives is, why didn't he want me? Because I'm holding my son in my hand right now.
And you couldn't imagine.
I wish him would. You know what I'm saying? That kind of force.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm opening up to y'all because y'all are fathers, and you are the opposite of what I've had and experienced, and I mean that for both of y'all too, Trey and Nico. It's important, you know what I mean? Because somebody like me didn't have that. For Justin's sake, I didn't have that. You know what I mean? I didn't have what they had in being able to share game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that powerful scene on The Fresh Prince, it wasn't the fact that Will was like, why didn't he want me? It was the realization in that microsecond that, yo, my pops just bounced. And then him having to process that. Yeah. Granted, that's a television show, but still, the episode was powerful. And it's, you know what I mean? It was powerful in itself. So, I mean,
these experiences are going to make you a great dad, brother.
I appreciate that.
There is a flip side to that. So I'm listening carefully to what you're saying. And obviously, you know, that was tough for you, right?
Yeah.
And you're working through it. But
I love my mother more just for it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I celebrate Father's Day for, you know, my mom.
Or your
too.
mom,
yeah,
too. Exactly, like we said.
I'll jump in and I'll share this. You know, shout out to your moms for raising you to be the man that you are.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
She's an amazing woman.
It's that you are as you sit here in the presence right here and right now. But more importantly, for everyone that's listening that was where you were and felt what you feel, you are helping more young fathers
That's right.
right now than maybe everything that we said up to this point and
That's
the
right.
show, because you're a living example that it can be done. You know, you're
I appreciate
you're
that.
supported by your beautiful wife in the background on the camera. And,
Vanessa.
To Mateo, you're the strongest man in the world. You are right now. And
You know,
always will be.
And he's going to be the
yeah.
benefactor of all this, too, right?
I don't.
A lot of love.
I appreciate that. And, you know, again, it's I wore my best today, not only for Nico and Trey, but also for my son, because it was important for me to meet your kids. I see Justin all the time. Justin sees me.
He's like,
Justin sees me in suits all the time.
You see him all the time, right.
Yeah, but, you know, for you two, it was very important for me to say, you know, envy is not the word. I look up to that. Like, you know, I admire that. There goes the word I'm looking for. I admire, you know, it, and it means a lot coming from, you know, from the bottom of my heart, you know, Kev being and doing what he had to do as a father. You know, mind you, the other one is important and living his best life right now. You know what I mean? But I was very excited to meet y'all, and it means a lot that y'all came on to the show. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you for having us.
yeah, oh no, of course. As we wrap it up, we dove in deep. You know,
Yes.
my little man is grabbing the mic. This is my world right here, Mateo Joseph.
His big screen debut.
You know, television debut. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope this was a good one. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Happy Stepfather's Day for all the fathers that are stepping in as stepdads for fathers. Today was a very important day. My boy made his television debut. I got a chance to meet Trey and Nico. You know, yeah, that's it, man.
That's
you know,
it.
that's
All
what
the
we
best
got.
to you guys.
And, you know, all the best. I look forward to seeing and working with y'all in the future, you know. And you want to say bye?
Bye-bye.
You want to say bye?
Shout us
Say
out.
subscribe.
Subscribe. Can you can you say subscribe?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. This is what he wants to say. Subscribe to the Real Estate Trifecta on the gram, on YouTube, on Spotify, on SoundCloud. We are everywhere. Let us know what you think. We're giving away prizes all the time. This time around, we didn't drop anything, but we are leading up to that 75-inch television for the end of the season. And shout out to Jay Barnett. He was supposed to be on this show. I tried my hardest to get him, but due to scheduling conflicts, he wasn't able to show up. Brother, we appreciate you. Keep doing what you do. And yeah, this is us signing off. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.